From Duncan Park in Hartford, Nesson presents Yard Goats Baseball. Today, the Yard Goats host the Boston Red Sox affiliate, the Portland Sea Dogs. And good afternoon, everybody. With Dan Lavallo, Jeff Dooley with you. What a race we have in the Eastern League's Northeast Division. 3 teams, Hartford, Portland, and Somerset, separated by just a game and a half in the division with 2 weeks left to play.
Jeff, this is really some race. I mean, this is how they design it, and now every game is crucial.
Well, it was an exciting one in Hartford last night. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from a night ago. What a game. Sea Dogs got a big lift in the first inning on this 2-run home run by Ronaldo Rosario off Yard Goat starter Connor Eaton. Goats come back, though, in the bottom half of the inning. A ground ball by Charlie Condon. This turns into a pitcher's duel, though. Connor Eaton would strike out 12 over the first 5 innings, only allowing the 2 runs. Meanwhile, Blake Wehunt, he would work around some early traffic. He holds the 2-1 lead over 4 innings. Goats tie the game in the 7th on Jared Thomas's RBI single, scoring Cole Carrick to make it 2-2. We head to the 9th. Marvin Alcantara hits a go-ahead home run off reliever Wellington Herrera, and it's 3-2 Portland. But the Yard Goats with one last shot. Julio Carreras leads off the 9th in style. He pulls the game even with a home run, 3-3. This game goes to extras for the second time this week. Sea Dogs get a sac fly by Juan Chacon, and Caden Rose scores, and it's 4-3. Goats have first and third base in the bottom of the inning, nobody out, but they can't score 3 straight infield grounders. Sea Dogs take the game 4-3, and Portland has won 4 of the first 5 games. One guy that continues to play well for the Goats as we look ahead to today, Dan, and that's outfielder Cole Carrick.
He's a 5-tool player. He demonstrated that again in last night's game. Scores a run in the first, courtesy of a walk and a stolen base. Yard Goats down by 1 later in the game. He bunts, steals a base, scores the tying run. He's that kind of a player.
Abram Liendo for the Sea Dogs has had a big week, both with the bat and the glove.
6 runs batted in the series, and plays a tremendous third base, great range, and a strong arm.
Dennis, you look for the mound matchup this afternoon. Connor Stain goes for the Goats. This will be his 5th game against Portland.
He also started the series on Tuesday night.
Caleb Bolden will pitch for the Sea Dogs.
And the Yard Goats are familiar with him. He's making his 5th appearance, his first start against Hartford.
Well, up next, we'll meet Yard Goats reliever Mason Green. That and more as Yard Goats baseball continues on Nesson.
Well, let's check the starting lineups for the finale of this 6-game series. Presented by the Hartford Insurance for Business, Home, and Auto. Find your solution today. For the Portland Sea Dogs, the Red Sox AA affiliate, leading off and playing third base, Abram Liendo.
Back in the pregame show, Yard Goats reliever Mason Green joins us from Duncan Park. And Mason, you pitched the ball extremely well in the month of August. Talk about what's been working for you.
You know, I think a big part of it is just staying in my delivery. Been working on some things throughout the year, hooking the rubber one thing and kind of shortening my stride, not getting out of yanking the ball, yanking my glove side and over rotating. So staying in my delivery, staying smooth, and kind of being calm in my back leg, and at that point, just letting my pitch grips work and letting my hand speed work, and, not worrying too much about, the outcome, and, being a reliever and being a starter, like doing kind of a little bit of both this year, knowing that I can just make pitches, and, I want to be efficient. And there's been times where I haven't been, super efficient this year. and that's a big part of staying in the delivery. And when my delivery's right, I feel like I'm pretty efficient. I'm in the zone consistently.
I know you guys work extremely hard behind the scenes. People don't see this; they see when you go out on the mound. But there's bullpens, there's work that goes on besides that. But how fulfilling is it when you get out there and get a result like you did the other night?
Yeah, it's definitely good to get out there and kind of know right away you have your stuff, you have your A stuff, and not every outing you're going to have all 4 pitches or your delivery. Sometimes you're always trying to find it throughout, a batter or the whole outing. So, I kind of felt good. The first 2 batters I faced, I knew like I had some good stuff going, and sitting down in between innings and going back out, you don't want to lose that feel. So, having some good mental cues of staying back and being relaxed in my backside and just keep doing it, repeating pitch after pitch, staying calm out there.
Can you ever tell when you're going to be on from something that happens in the bullpen, or do you really need to get out there and see the results on the field?
It's a little bit of both. You can feel amazing in this game and not have a good outcome. You can feel horrible and have a great outcome. So, I think there's definitely parts of my delivery and overall health that that like I feel good today. And I think yesterday was one of those days where I felt completely kind of put together.
There's no secrets ever, it seems, with all the video that you have. But at this point of the season, everyone's seen each other a million times, it seems. You're playing Portland for the final of 4 series this year. Talk about some of the pluses and some of the minuses about seeing the same opponent several times and seeing hitters several times, because, at the major league level, you got to get these guys out.
Yeah, for sure. The big part is, scouting reports. There's so much data that we have nowadays, and using your own scouting report and their scouting report and knowing how to pitch their weaknesses and their cold zones, but also using my best stuff, because I want to use my best stuff as much as possible. And I feel like my best stuff's going to beat their best stuff anytime, but sometimes you got to play the game a little bit and know, like, later in the count they're more susceptible to swing at an off speed or swing at a fastball up, and use those things and play it early. That's why being in the zone early is so important. So you can use those tools that you have, that in the back of your mind that they might have these tendencies later in the count.
You've had the chance to pitch here at Duncan Park now last couple of years in front of these great fans. And in closing, I'd just like to ask you what that's like out there. They know who you are. They cheer for you. It's got to be a cool feeling.
It's super cool feeling. Coming from a D2 where I played in front of, at max maybe 100 fans a weekend. It's cool to, progress through the levels and, the ballparks get bigger and more fans are cheering, and it's still the same game. So once you're out there, you kind of tune it all out sometimes, but it's awesome to have fans here and support from being from Kansas and small town guy. There's a lot of things that come together, and it's a cool feeling to have a lot of fans behind you.
Mason, fun watching you pitch. Appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Mason Green joining us on Yard Goats pregame. Up next, the Yard Goats and the Sea Dogs here on NESN. And good afternoon, everybody. We've got Eastern League Baseball for you on this afternoon here on NESN. 2 weeks left in the regular season. Hartford Yard Goats, Portland Sea Dog tied with identical records, both a game and a half behind Somerset for that final playoff spot of the division. It's the Rockies and Red Sox affiliates here in the capital city. Also, take a look at the Portland Sea Dogs starting lineup. It is presented by the Hartford, and you look at the 9 that will start with Chart Epperson as the manager, and Marvin Alcantara broke a 2-2 tie with a solo home run last night down the 9th inning.
Jeff, in 15 games against the Yard Goats this season, he has 14 runs batted in.
We'll take a look at the Yard Goats starting pitcher Connor Stain. He'll start for the Goats. He'll make his 5th start this season against Portland. 10. No secrets at this point.
No question about that. And he started the series on Tuesday night, carries a 2-8 record to the mound.
We'll take a look at the umpires for tonight's ball game. It's Ian Durkin calling the balls and strikes. Nate Hall will make decisions at first base. The crew chief is Travis Brewer. He'll make decisions at third. Well, we look back to last night's game. There are a couple of big hits, including Julio Carrera's big fly to start the 9th inning. Hartford down by a run at this point. Carreras goes deep, his 2nd homer of the season. That would send this game into extras. And a great feeling at Duncan Park. The Sea Dogs would come down, though, and win it in extras.
Well, you just never expect that Carreras is going to hit a home run. He's not a home run hitter, as you mentioned, just his 2nd home run of the season. And it put the Yard Goats in position to actually win the game once he tied it. But as you mentioned, the Sea Dogs came back, lowering the boom on Hartford.
So Connor Stain will see if he can pitch this Hartford team to a victory. And boy, the Goats struggling here at home these days. They've lost 10 of their last 11 here in downtown Hartford. A beautiful day today. Our game time temperature 74 degrees, a little bit of a breeze, a cross breeze today from left to right at 7 miles per hour. And the Goats and the Sea Dogs meeting for the final time here in 2025. So Abram Liendo will start things for the Red Sox affiliate as he is in. And the first pitch is a fastball that's in for a strike, and we are underway. Welcome him to sit back, relax, and enjoy Yard Goats baseball this Sunday. Stain's 6'4", 200 pounds from Clinton, New Jersey, just outside of Somerset. That's low in the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. He worked on Tuesday against Portland, pitched 3 1/3 innings, allowed 4 runs, including a home run on 6 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and was the losing pitcher against this Portland team. That's chopped foul. And well, today's keys to the game are presented by West Hartford Lock.
Well, Jeff, the Yard Goats need to get hits with runners in scoring position. They are 3 of 15 with runners in scoring position last night. Defense has to be tight, and they have to maintain their pitching approach. Their pitching approach last night was very good.
Ground ball left side. It's going to eat up Carreras and sneak into left field. Leo tried to get it in the in-between hop. He cannot, and Liendo aboard to begin this first inning.
That was a hit off the bat of Liendo at 94 miles per hour.
So Liendo is aboard. Now it's Marvin Alcantara, the shortstop. 226 batting average, 2 homers and 27 runs batted in. Runner breaks for a second, pitches a ball. The throw is over to the head of the second baseman, Riggio. It is on through, up and on his way to third base. Liendo, the throw from center fielder Cole Carrick arrives a hop too late, and Liendo into third base in the throwing error by Jose Cordova.
So the Dogs are off and running. You know, it's interesting because Leandro came into this series on Tuesday night with 39 stolen bases. And with all the Sea Dogs have done in this series, with all that Leandro has done in this series, that's his first stolen base in the set and 40th of the campaign.
Bobby Meacham keeps the infield back. A line drive headed towards left. Guerrero heading back towards the track. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Liendo. He will trot home with the Sea Dogs' first run of the game and 2 batters in. It's 1-0 Portland.
Now that ball was smoked at 97 miles per hour, but you see speed on full display as that ball was whacked by Alcantara, who picks up his 16th run batted in 16 games against the Yard Goats. Amazing.
Alan Castro is the batter now. Castro, the right fielder, tried to hold up in the first swing. He could not as they appealed down to third base, and the crew chief Travis Brewer says strike.
By the way, Jeff, that ball Liendo hit was scored a single.
This one is up high. The count 1-1 strike. Castro comes in at .270 batting average, 18 doubles, 7 homers, and 33 runs batted in. And swing and a miss. And the count goes to 1-2. Castro this week hitting .300, 6 for 20. And look at Chad Epperson, fourth-year manager for the Sea Dogs. Epperson, a former Red Sox farmhand as a player.
Winningest manager.
Yep. Staying working with Cordova as his catcher. Jose behind the plate. That's fouled back, a heater at 95. And the count 1-2. Hey, look at Stain. He'll come in hitters with a four-seam fastball, a slider, a curveball, and a changeup. Making his career high 23rd start. It's also team leading in his 5th game against Portland. That's outside of the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And you know, I think that's one of the stories for Connor this year, and he's checked that box. He's come out start after start, and that's one of the areas of maturity, to go out there and be durable.
Danny's 4 innings shy of a career high, so he should get there with ease. A tapper foul first base side. He'll have at least one more start in him, you would think, at this point.
Yep.
Still a couple of weeks to go in the 2025 regular season. Sun-drenched afternoon here in this finale between the Rockies and Red Sox affiliates. That's up high. The count is filled now to Castro, 3-2. Well, Connor's been with Hartford all season. Goes 10-12 when he starts. He recently had posted a .220 earned run average over 3 straight starts, August 24 through August, I should say, July 24 through August 8th. He walks Castro here. But last couple he has struggled.
Well, I'll tell you what, whether you're talking about the major league level, the minor league level, this really is gut check time, because you're knocking on the door to September 1st tomorrow. And this is just as much the mental preparation and mental aspect of the game as the physical aspect.
First one, Ronald Rosario hit him. Breaking pitch as he flips off the curve, and it actually gets the catch of Rosario, and now 2 on with a run home and 1 out here in the first inning.
Connor got a breaking ball that didn't break enough. But you know, Jeff, that's what you talk about when you hear people say, well, the baseball season, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Well, guess what? These are the final miles of the marathon the season is entering, and it really takes a toll on you mentally, and that's where you have to be extra tough.
Miguel Blaze, the batter now, as he is in. Stain comes home. Swing and a miss, a big fastball for strike 1. And like all starters, Stain needs the ability to command the fastball, land that secondary stuff, limit the walks. Got to work around some first inning traffic and keep this a 1-0 deficit. Off-speed pitches high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Stain, an A-ball, was a 2-time Northwest League Pitcher of the Week last year, also California League Pitcher of the Week back in the 2023 season. Good-looking pitch that gets in the strike zone of Ian Durkin, and it's 1-2.
Nice changeup that time from Stain as he's trying to see if all of his pitches work here in this first inning.
The Iron Goats have dropped back-to-back home series. They got swept in 6 last homestand against Harrisburg as Blaze asks for time. And then Hartford has lost 4 of the first 5 against this Red Sox affiliate this week. Portland right back in the race now. The Goats tie with the Sea Dogs, both trailing Somerset by a game and a half. Just 12 games to go after today. That's inside a hit him. Oh boy. So Stain After giving up the sac fly, has walked the batter. Now he's hit back-to-back batters. That was a fastball that got him just above where the elbow pad is.
Well, he was trying to pitch inside on 1 and 2 rather than away, and Jose Cordova heads to the mound to try and settle him down. We saw what the Sea Dogs have done in this series, particularly in the first inning of games. They scored 2 runs in the first inning last night. They scored 6 runs in the first inning the night before, and they won both games. And now Stain, with already 1 run in the bank for the Sea Dogs, is in a bases loaded 1-out situation against a guy who put it over the batter's eye in dead center the other night, Brooks Brannon.
Brannon's a good hitter. A lot of power in that body. One of the catchers. He is 5'11", 210 from Greensboro, North Carolina, but he pops the first one he sees up. Playable at first base for Charlie Condon, who makes the catch for out number 2. Never figured out, and I know hitters are always going to be aggressive, right? Just the way you want to see that fastball, you want to get it. But a walk, back-to-back hit batsman, and Brannon helps out Stain by getting after the first pitch.
Jeff, I think Brannon was expecting a fastball there, and he didn't get it, and that might have thrown him off.
Tyler Miller is the batter now, lefty hitter, and the 7th man to come up this inning. Next pitch will be the 21st for Connor Stain. Swing and a miss at a good fastball at 93 for strike 1. Stain's first Eastern League win was April 17th against this Portland club. He also beat the Fisher Cats on July 24th. Now looking for win number 3. The Goats behind early 1-0. We're just getting going here in Hartford. There's a strike outer half. Good placement for Stain, and it's now 0-2.
This could be a big turning point if Stain can somehow get out of this inning with just 1 run scoring.
Miller, 25 years old, trying to protect 2 strikes. Pops this one up third base side. Carreras coming over by his own dugout. It lands atop of the dugout. Miller's had a good week, 3 for 8 with a double and an RBI. Gone through a pretty good stretch. Last homestand, he went 10 for 24. One of his big highlights this season, a walk-off home run, April 24th against Reading. It came in the bottom of the 9th. He's up with the bases juiced here in the first inning. 1-0 Sea Dogs. Deep drive right field, twisting foul. Home run distance for Miller. It's nothing but a loud strike, and it's 0-2. Boy, looking around this ballpark, it has filled up nicely.
Yes, it has. A great crowd on the Sunday before Labor Day, last day of August. I can't believe that. Last day of August.
Right. Stain trying to polish off Miller. Can't make a mistake. 2 strikes. Try to get him to chase. He does not. Fastball 95 that time, and it's 1-2.
Now you see what he did that time. He attempted to pitch Miller away with a jump on the count. Meanwhile, he attempted to pitch Blaze inside with a jump on the count and hit him.
Wow, just missed with a breaking pitch. Not a bad looking pitch at all.
It was outside.
It was a ball, but it was not a bad pitch with on 1-2.
Now he's faced with a big pitch here, Jeff.
His 27th at the inning. It's fouled straight back. This is the final of 24 games between these two teams. Goats won this first 2 series, April and June. They split 6 last month in Maine, and Hartford ended up winning the first 3, but then lost 3 in a row up at Delta Dento Ballpark at Hadlock Fields. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Stain strikes out Miller as the Sea Dogs leave him loaded. Hartford does get a run, though, in a sac fly. 3 men left after Goat starting lineup this afternoon, presented by the Hartford, and Julio Carreras tied the game last night with a leadoff home run in the 9th inning. He's back in there today.
Yes, the Yard Goats need his bat, Jeff.
They sure do. It's Cole Carey to start things off for the Goats. He'll be up against Caleb Bolden. Look at Bolden.
Yeah, his 5th appearance of the year against the Yard Goats, his first start against Hartford.
Carey, the switch hitter, scored 77 runs this season, tops in the Eastern League. And he takes the first one for ball 1. Bolden 3-4, 15 games, 7 starts, and a 5.79 earned run average. Time call as Carey backs away. He is 6'2", 190 pounds, from Texarkana, Texas. Originally was drafted by the Tampa Bay Rays out of high school, didn't sign, and then was a 7th-round pick of the Red Sox after a career at Texas Christian. It was a foul, 1 ball, 1 strike. He last worked last Tuesday, August 19th, against Binghamton, and was the winner. Went 5 innings, allowed just 2 runs on 6 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. That's outside of the count, 2 balls and a strike. Third baseman Abram Liendo even with the bag. Check swing and appeal to third base, and Brewer says he goes around. Cole Carrick not happy.
Oh boy, you're not supposed to argue balls and strikes, and Carrick is doing just that. He is really letting the third base umpire hear it.
He is back in again now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bolden says yes to Brooks Brennan. Swing and a miss, strike 3. As Carrick strikes out to start the home side of the 1st inning. And that is the first strikeout for Caleb Bolden. Now the DH, Jared Thomas. Thomas, 246 batting average. 35 games played at the Eastern League level, and tracks the first one outside for ball 1. Bolden allowed just 2 runs in 5 innings his previous start, but took the loss. That was August 13th against the Yankees affiliate Somerset. Fastball's in for a strike. His first appearance of the season was against the Goats in relief April 15th. Young Goats beat him right here at Duncan Park on July 8th, but again, that was a relief outing. He went 4 innings, 2 innings that day, gave up 4 runs, 3 earned against the Rockies farm team. It's way outside at 94, and the count goes to 2-1. But here's a guy, Dan, that can kind of do whatever, right? He'll take a start if he needs to, and also a guy that can work as a reliever.
Yep, he throws 3 pitches, essentially fastball, slider, and change.
That's outside, and the count goes to 3-1.
But you need pitchers on your staff that way who can start, who can relieve. Your pregame guest today, Mason Green, fits that bill.
Thomas has had a good week. 286 batting average against Portland pitching. And tracks that one outside ball 4. So Thomas works the walk, and he's aboard. First Goats base runners, a free pass here in the 1st inning.
And Jeff, I would expect the Yard Goats to be very aggressive on the base paths today. Bobby Meacham wants to make something happen. There's Luis Lopez, the first base coach, greeting Thomas. Thomas does have speed, and I would expect you're going to see an aggressive approach on the base paths by Hartford.
Charlie Condon is in. He's got 8 homers and 32 runs batted in, playing in his 44th game at Hartford, and takes the fastball inside for ball 1.
I mean, Bolden does walk a lot of batters. He comes into this game having averaged a walk every 2 innings pitched. That is not a good ratio.
It is not. Good lead at first base by Thomas, being held there by Miller. Line shot caught by the pitcher, Bolden. What a catch, and a little bit of self-defense to end the inning. Wow, look what I've got. Bolden, a rocket right back to him, and he makes the catch. Condon really ripped that one. 103 off the bat. 1 done in Hartford. 1-0. Recently called up Connor Eaton was outstanding last night. 12 strikeouts, a career high against the Portland Sea Dogs. He struck out the side of the first inning, yielding a 2-run home run. In that process, he also walked a man, but boy, he was on his game. Struck out the side of the first, again in the third, and then got the first 2 batters of the fifth. He was tremendous. How about 12 punch-outs? Your first home game at Duncan Park. Pretty impressive for Eaton, who was at Class A Spokane just last week.
Just a tremendous outing. Hartford pitchers struck out 19 batters last night.
That tied the most in a 10-inning game. Seamus grounds one down to third base. Julio Carreras has it. On at first base to throw, and Carson Seamus out number 1.
Well, for the record, the Sea Dogs pitchers were dealing 2 as that ball was handled by Carreras. There was a total of 30 strikeouts in last night's game.
Now left fielder Juan Chacon, 9-hole hitter for the Dogs. Chacon overall 237, but he's 4 for 13 this week against Yard Goats pitching. Swings here and it's a lazy fly ball to center. Carrick lining it up and making the catch for out number 2.
Well, Connor Stain needs this kind of an inning because he threw 28 pitches in the first inning, 1 run scoring, but he managed to escape a bases loaded situation after that. He needs a low pitch inning right here.
Sea Dogs, game and a half behind Somerset, tied with Hartford. 13 games left, including today, as Abram Liendo is in. He reached on an infield single, hit a rocket by Julio Carreras, who couldn't knock it down. Sea Dogs looking for their 4th straight win and 6th win in 8 games. Also looking to take 5 out of 6 here in Hartford. They'll be home next week to take on Erie, and then a tough one as they finish this season at Binghamton. This one is in for a strike, and the count goes to 1-2. Goats have Richmond to finish, but they've got Reading next week. And fighting Phils after losing 4 in a row, won back-to-back games. Somerset, though, has 2, I don't want to say easy series left, but they do have New Hampshire on the schedule. And the Fisher Cats, we all know, have struggled this season. Mitch swing and a miss. They also play Reading, so that's going to be tough. Now the Goats go 1-2-3 against Connor Stain. Jeff Dooley, Dan Lavala back at Duncan Park. The Yard Goats and the Sea Dogs, and really it's do or die for both of these teams. The final couple of weeks of the season, Hartford, Portland, both in the playoff mix, trying to get to Somerset. And now the Goats trying to keep things interesting. There you see the standings, Dan, and just a game and a half separate 3 teams looking for that final playoff spot.
And that final playoff spot this year in the Northeast is second place, so that's why the big battle is on with Somerset.
Juan Guerrero lead things off against Caleb Bolden. He hacks away at the first one and shoots one into the seats first base side. And a fun week for the Sea Dogs. They came in with a pretty high mountain to climb, but they have won 4 of 5 here in the capital city to get right back in the mix, and they pulled even with Hartford. Ground ball, deep shortstop. Alcantara dives, but he just keeps the ball in the infield. He's no play on Juan Guerrero, who legs out an infield style single.
Rod's had a good series. That's his 5th hit and 15 at-bats as Alcantara smothered the baseball, but that was it.
Now Rock Riggio, and good to see Rock back in the lineup. He's had problems staying on the field recently with that little ankle injury. He's only played in 1 game in the series. Lefty hitter that was recently acquired from the Yankees chops one into the first base dugout for strike 1. Rock, a week ago Tuesday in New Jersey, injured that ankle in his own stomping grounds at TD Bank Park in Somerset, New Jersey, and he's doing what he can to try to stay in the Goats lineup. It's a bat they can certainly use. Swings and misses here at a slider. It's no balls, 2 strikes. Rock, 23 years old. His first home run with the Goats August 16th. That was last homestand against Harrisburg with 3-run shots. Chopper foul first base side. He continues to battle against Caleb Bolden. Bolden making his 8th start, his 16th appearance. His 4th appearance against Hartford. The first 3, though, have been as a reliever. You look at the numbers, and Bolden has actually been better as a starter compared to a reliever. It'll pop up, short center. Castro comes racing in. It drops in for a hit. Alcantara went back, as did the second baseman Carson Seamus. Alan Castro came sprinting in, and it finds his spot to the lawn between all 3, and the Goats have a promising start to the first and second base with nobody out.
Jeff, I think Castro got a late start on that ball, and that benefited the Yard Goats. That's a long run for Alcantara, and because Castro got the late start, that ball landed in no man's land.
Jose Cordova is the batter. He hit a home run the other night. He bats with 2-1 and nobody outs, inning number 2. The pitch. That's in for strike 1. Coach trying to push across a run here in the second and try to even the score. Down 1-0. Cordova hitting .235 with runners in scoring position. Lifts a foul first base side, back into the seats. And it counts no balls, 2 strikes to the Goats catcher. Jose was here last season, 25 years old. Back in 2019, he was a Dominican League Midsummer All-Star. And a couple of injury bouts. Was on the injured list earlier this season with Hartford. Back and healthy again. Trying to hold up on the swing and appeal to first base. Strike 3, says Nate Hall. It's a strikeout for Caleb Bolden. It is the second strikeout for the righty, and it's the first out of the inning.
There's that rising fastball, the four-seamer, and Jose unable to hold up. So Bolden so far hanging in there in the first inning at a third, but he's in a bit of a jam here.
Benny Montgomery looking to try to get going. He's 2 for 16 this week. One of his 2 hits a home run. Swings and misses. The fastball down to the zone for strike 1.
Yard Goats did not come up with the big hit last night, other than obviously the Cordova home run, but they were 3 for 15 with runners in scoring position.
They had some opportunities for sure, and the end result was a 10-inning 4-3 loss. The 4th in 5 games against the Boston Red Sox affiliate. Montgomery, an Org All-Star back in 2023, missed a lot of last year due to injury, but back and healthy again and trying to produce.
Swings here and grounds it towards second. Seamus shuffled to second for one on the first, a double play. And the Goats squander a first and second no-out opportunity. Well, the Red Sox do have some prospects, Dan, in the Sea Dogs team, including a couple of guys that we saw this week, and Hayden Mullins and Blake Wehunt, and two guys in the game today with Miguel Blaze and Alan Castro in Chad Epperson's lineup today.
And they have all contributed in this series. For the most part, Mullins, Wehunt, Blaze, and Castro all have had an impact.
Here's Marvin Alcantara, swings and he grounds one foul third base side just by Carreras, but ruled a foul ball by Travis Brewer. And one strike to the shortstop. Connor Stain gave up a run in the first inning in a single. Didn't get much help from the defense. Cordova threw a ball and a potential steal in the center field, and that turned out to be a sac fly, but Stain went right back after loading the bases on a walk and two-hit batsman, got the next two batters to end the inning in strand three. Alcantara homered the other day. Just 20 years old. A lot of promise. Young shortstop as he lifts a foul back into the seats, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Now that's what Stain tries to do when he pitches that fastball away.
As a look back at the other night, and a home run by Marvin Alcantara. And that was a biggie, Dan. At that point, it put Portland up in the game.
Yeah, in the 9th inning, 3-2, his second homer of the year. 2 non-home run hitters.
Right. And
homer in the 9th inning.
Right. Carreras comes back and leads off the bottom of the 9th with a home run. Fly ball, right field, hit well. Montgomery will get there, though, and he makes the catch back in the track. Alcantara gives it a ride, but he is the first out of the 3rd inning.
I mean, you would never expect it. Everybody was shocked. Alcantara hits a home run, his second homer of the year, to make it 3-2. And then Carreras comes back in the bottom of the 9th with a leadoff homer to tie it. I mean, you just can't make it up. That was really a very entertaining ball game last night.
It was. Great game for the fans. Goats fans didn't like the result, but it was a very competitive game. Alan Castro in, and he looks at a breaking pitch in for strike one. I thought it was a great, it was a great crowd anyway, but they were very, very vocal last night.
For 7,000 last night.
Yeah. Goats got a couple of tough breaks, I thought, too. And the next one missing high in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Castro 6 for 20 this week, batting at 300. Eastern League Player of the Week back in July 6th. Stays off that 2-0 pitch. It's now 3-0.
I wouldn't be surprised if Castro gets the green light here.
He does have power. He's 6'1", 170 from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic.
Oh.
That's in for a strike. 3-1.
Right down the middle.
Yep. Goats were riding high when they got home after winning 5 out of 6 in Somerset last week, but they've lost 4 of 5 against Portland. There's a strike, and the off-speed pitch gets in. It's 3-2. That's why you can't play them on paper. I mean, you're coming home. You got to like your odds. You're playing 2 teams that are sub 500. The Sea Dogs overall are below 500. Especially their overall record heading into this week. And then Reading comes in all next week. Payoff pitch is fouled at home plate.
Well, Jeff, you nailed it. You mentioned, for example, that Somerset, after tonight's game in Binghamton, goes home to play New Hampshire. And Somerset went up to New Hampshire and won 6 games in New Hampshire, which is very tough to do. But what does that mean? It means absolutely nothing. New Hampshire's going to show up in Somerset, and they're going to play those games as hard as they can.
Yep. You look, it could be New Hampshire and Reading, the 2 teams that could try to, well, they have an opportunity to be the spoiler.
They really do, both teams.
A line drive down the right field line, foul. Into the open concourse it goes, just below the Hartford upper deck. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Castro put a pretty good swing in that last pitch. A slider at 85. Stain 6'4", 200 pounds from Clinton, New Jersey. And at bat this has been for Alan Castro.
Well, he's doing a good job of running up that pitch count. We told you that this happens on occasion. These hitters will run up a pitch count and really has an impact on the pitcher.
Stain, Rocky's 5th round pick, 2022, out of the University of Central Florida down in Orlando. There's a pop up, third base side. That will get back out of the seats. No chance for Julio Carreras.
So, Jeff, that's 9 pitches in the at bat, 4 straight foul balls. So remember, the first 3 pitches were balls, then 2 called strikes, and now 4 fouls in a row.
Here comes the 10th pitch of this at bat for Alan Castro. Fouled off once again. You talk about a pesky hitter.
That's really something. This is what these hitters do. And suddenly, Stain's pitch count, which was very manageable through 2 innings, 35 pitches, is on the rise. I mean, the 11th pitch of the at-bat about to be delivered.
He has set down the last 6 to come to the plate for the Red Sox affiliate. Again, the 3-2. He got him. Strike 3. Got him the breaking pitch. Curveball at 76. Picks up his 3rd strikeout as he wins the battle for out number 2.
That's a great pitch. I mean, maybe Castro was expecting the fastball, and he comes in with a curve. The maturation of Connor Stain before our very eyes. He should feel very good about that strikeout.
Now catcher Ronald Rosario is hit by a pitch back in the 1st inning. And is up high for ball 1. Connor Stain hit Rosario with a fastball, and then he broke off a breaking pitch that hit the next hitter, Miguel Blaze, but he pitched out of the bases loaded spot. 2 balls and no strikes to the catcher. The only run to score was on a sacrifice fly by Marvin Alcantara in the 1st inning. And it's low, now 3-0 to Ronald Rosario.
Second straight batter. Connor has gone to 3-0. He battled back to strike out Castro, but threw 11 pitches in Castro's at bat.
And that's a 4-pitch walk. That's the 2nd free pass given up by Connor Stain.
And that's what we mean about the long at bats, how these hitters will run up the pitch count during one at bat, and it has an impact on a pitcher following that at bat, regardless of what the batter does. In this case, Castro struck out, but then you see that Rosario walked on 4 pitches.
Miguel Blaze, the hitter. Mentioned he got hit with a breaking pitch his last time. He looks at a good hard one right down the middle for a strike. Miguel Blaze was the Red Sox 12th overall prospect, according to MLB Pipeline, earlier in the year. This one down to left. Guerrero on the move to his right to make the catch to end the inning. Nothing across, one man left, middle of 3 and
service employee at that same base because he cannot get enough of service, and because of that, we recognize him as today's Duncan Hero Among Us.
Well, Dan, it's time for the Hero Among Us on this Sunday afternoon.
And you're looking at Mike Bossy, a native of the United States Navy, served in the Gulf War, being recognized today by the big crowd at Duncan Park. Our Duncan Hero Among Us.
Nicely done. Goats trail 1-0 as you begin play in the home side of the third inning. It's Julio Carreras, Dion Jorge, and Cole Carey, the three featured for the Yard Goats. Carreras, we told you last night, hit the game-tying home run starting the 9th inning. He tracks the first one outside for a ball. Go to the roster move today, just really before game time. They've activated Zach Kokoska, who's on the development list, so he is on the active roster and available to pinch hit if need be. Chopper over the mound towards short. Alcantara on at first base, retiring Carreras for out number 1. And congratulations to catcher Manny Palma, who's been promoted to AAA Albuquerque. He's on a flight right now to Albuquerque.
He might make it at time. They usually play later in the day.
One away now for the shortstop, Dion Jorge. Kokoska, even though he was on the development list, had been actively taking batting practice and still working out with the team.
Saw the plate umpire Ian Durkin just get hit on that pitch in the chest protector. Watch it. Oh, the mask.
Ouch.
Oh, I thought it got the chest protector, but it was the mask.
Swing and a miss. Chase went outside of the zone, did Jorge. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Diana, first year goat, 6'2", 170 from Havana, Cuba. Can't get the slider that time as Bolden gets him to chase outside of the zone, and now Jorge will ask and get granted time to collect his thoughts.
Tell you what, Bolden's been dealing so far. His pitches have been working. He got into first and second, nobody out trouble in the second, bailed out by a double play. In fact, the Yard Goats have hit into double plays the first 2 innings today.
That's way outside of the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sea Dogs have scored the only run to this point. It was in the first inning, 2 batters in and a sac fly by Marvin Alcantara, scoring Abram Liendo. Fastball at 95 just misses, and it's 3-2. That's strike 3. So Bolden makes quick work of Dion Jorge. 3 strikeouts to the right-hander and 2 away in the 3rd inning.
And you could see even before Durkin punched out Jorge, Brandon was out of his crouch throwing that baseball around the horn. He knew it was a strike.
Top of the lineup now, and Cole Carrick tracks the slider outside for ball 1. That's in for a strike, and the count 1 ball 1 strike.
He has command of his fastball today, does Bolden, and that's one of the reasons he has looked tough.
Carey, the switch hitter, batting left side, rolls a foul first base side. And it's 1-2. Trying to hold up on the swing here. Diddy as they appeal no, says Travis Brewer. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I'm sure Carrick is thinking fastball here.
See what Bolden comes back with. There's the 2-2. This is outside at 95. What a great spot, though. Just missed. But Carrick doesn't chase, and it's filled now 3-2. Cole trying to become the first ever yard goat to lead the league in runs scored. He's #1 right now at 77. Swings and misses, strike 3 here. Get him with a fastball down in the zone at 93. And Goats go 1-2-3 in the 3rd. On to the 4th we go. It's 1-0 Portland. Valley Sports Live is your home from minor league baseball all season long. Watch every game at no cost in the MILB zone. Test your skills and earn rewards at the Game Center. Buy tickets to watch your favorite teams. Valley Sports Live is the perfect companion for the minor league baseball fan. Step up to the plate and download the Valley Sports Live app today. Top of the 4th we go, and here's Dan Lovallo. Dan?
All right, Jeff. Brooks Brannon leads it off, and he looks at ball 1. Brannon batting with the bases loaded in the 1st inning, swung at the first pitch and popped out to the first baseman. 1-0 Dogs here in the top of the 4th. That's a strike. Stain coming back with a slider. 1-1 the count. Connor Stain into his 4th inning of work, pitched 3 in the 3rd against the Sea Dogs on Tuesday night. There's a strike called, 1-2. If Bobby Meacham could get 5 innings out of Stain today, he would sign for that. Yard Goats wrapping up the first leg of a 2-week homestand. Tomorrow, Labor Day. They are off, but back at it here at Duncan Park against Reading on Tuesday night for another 6-game series. There's a foul out of play. Brandon, of course, powerfully built. Stain knows that. Connor was in the dugout when he saw Brandon hit that home run over the batter's eye in dead center the other night. And there's a high drive to deep right center, and it is gone. Brandon has struck again. An opposite field home run stakes the Sea Dogs to a 2-0 lead. 102 miles per hour off Brandon's bat, his second homer of the series, his 5th of the season.
Now take a look again, able to extend the arms and get it out towards the deep part of the ballpark, out in right center field to that second deck.
Well, Brandon trying to work his way back on the Red Sox prospect list. Tyler Miller swings at a 4-seam fastball, strike 1. Miller struck out his first time up. And the Sea Dogs hit a couple of home runs last night. They have a home run this afternoon. 1-1 the count.
He's a good-looking player, isn't he, Brandon?
Well, you see how powerfully
Yeah.
built he is. Swing and a miss, 1-2. I mean, there's a lot to like about Brandon, Jeff. And obviously he is raising some eyebrows. They're paying attention in Boston.
Right.
What he can bring to the table. There's a high fly to left field. Guerrero shading his eyes, and he's got it for the first out.
Well, as you see, and as that follow, the Red Sox have seen this too. So many guys have gone from Portland to Boston. Look at Roman Anthony having a great season as a rookie up there now. He was in the Eastern League last year as a member of the Sea Dogs. He and Marcelo Meyer.
Carson Seamus, who's had a very good series, particularly in the field. 0 for 1. There's a strike. Saw Seamus play second base in all but one game, and he played short in that other game, and he's been diving all over the place, making stops and throws and over-the-shoulder catches. He's behind here on the count, 0-2.
And the other Sea Dog that everyone's been talking about, Peyton Tolley, who had only pitched 6 games. I mean, you talk about a brief stay at every level in the minor leagues. He started the season in A-ball.
There's a line drive into right field, a base hit. Montgomery up with the baseball, and Seamus collects a 1-out single. That's his 7th hit in the series in 25 at-bats. And you're right, Jeff. I mean, he was drafted last year by the Red Sox.
Out of college. And you talk about the fast strike. When these two teams played that first series in April, Peyton Tolley was in A-ball. And the Goats saw him once. He pitched well against Hartford in that day game up in southern Maine. And then next thing you know, just 3 starts AAA Worcester, and he's making his debut in Boston.
Juan Chacon fouls the first pitch back, and by all accounts, he electrified Fenway Park Friday night.
It was pretty impressive.
Two nothing Sea Dogs, 1 out. That's Seamus at first base. Condon holding him on. There he goes. Pitch is low. And safe at second base is Seamus. So the Dogs continue to run. That's Portland's 2nd stolen base in this game. They entered the contest with 158 steals, 4th in the circuit. Give them 160 as Seamus does beat the tag. That was Riggio handling the throw. So another runner at the pickup point for Portland. Seamus gets back.
Riggio sneaking in behind the base runner to take the throw that time.
Chacon, the number 9 hitter, except for 1 game in this series. Now he's behind on the count. He has done an excellent job of getting on base in the series. He is 4 for 14, but he also has walked 5 times and been hit by a pitch. There's a breaking ball, ripped foul. I'll tell you what, Chad Epperson has done an outstanding job of managing this ball club, keeping it in contention in the second half. That's Kyle Sasala. He's the third base coach. Kyle coached first base in the first 3 games of this series, and Epperson coached third, but Chad's been in the dugout the last 3 games, and Sasala has coached third. Fouled away.
Great point, Dan. I mean, Epi really has done a good job to, he came in trying to, I don't want to say keep them motivated, but let's face it, it was an uphill battle. But they've come and they've taken care of business, winning for the first 5 games here in Hartford.
There's Epi in the corner of the dugout.
Longtime Red Sox employee, from a player to a coach.
1-2. Misses. Connor has hit a couple of batters today. Better view of Chad Epperson, all-time winningest manager. 287 career wins, and he is hoping and counting. As a line drive speared by Carras. Oh, what a play by Julio. Watch this one again, Jeff Dooley.
Oh, that was nice. Rocket, and that's, you just read and react right. The hot corner at third base, and able to stretch that glove across his body and bring in the bullet off the bat.
Now Abram Leendo, who has singled and scored and struck out. Ball 1. Two nothing Portland. We are in the top of the 4th inning, and the finale of a 6-game series. The Dogs have won 4 of the first 5. There's a ground at a third, and Carreros fires across, and that will be that. But well, there you see the top prospects of the Colorado Rockies performing for the Yard Goats. Condon, Riggio, Carrig, Thomas. They're all in the lineup today. And your pitchers, Sullivan, Herrera, Eaton, and Prosecki. Eaton pitched last night, struck out 12 in his Duncan Park debut. Herrera came on in relief, so they're here, and they are playing. Speaking of Thomas, Jared leads off the last of the 4th against Caleb Bolden, who's been outstanding. Bolden, through 3 innings, has allowed Hartford just 2 hits and struck out 4. He's walked 1, and he came into this game averaging a walk every 2 innings. Thomas swings through that fastball. There's Jared. Started the year at IA Spokane. Reported to the Goats in July. 2-1 the count.
Dan, Portland pitching has held Hartford to 3 or fewer runs in 4 of the 5 games, and those 4 games all Portland wins. I mean, they've done a really good job getting both the starter and the relievers to throw strikes and get outs.
Well, and if you look at the game the Yard Goats won, that thrilling come from behind extra inning game 9-8 on Wednesday night. The Goats scored 8 of those 9 runs in the last 3 innings of the game.
Right.
9, 10, and 11. Ball 4. A leadoff walk. That's the second walk, and both have been to Thomas.
Yeah, he's been up there patient today against Bolden. Caleb kind of staying away from the former Texas star.
Now Charlie Condon will look up to find Thomas down at first. Charlie hitting in some bad luck. He hit a ball 101 miles per hour right back to the pitcher, and Bolden turned it into a double play as Thomas was doubled off first. He's going. That's a strike, and he is safe at second base. So Thomas comes up with a steal, and the Yard Goats have a runner in scoring position with nobody out.
9th stolen base of the season for Jared Thomas. Got a good pitch to run on, and the Goats a hit away from getting right back into this game.
There's a high drive to deep right center field, and that's going to bounce off the wall. Thomas will score. Condon is going for 3, and there will not be a throw. A triple for Condon, and the Goats are on the board. It's 2-1 Portland.
Well, Dan, that's the big hit that the Goats were waiting for. Charlie Condon hitting one up and over the outstretched glove of Alan Castro. Just couldn't get to it. Makes contact with a fence. A RBI for Condon is 33rd, and the Goats make it 2-1.
And now Hartford has 3 cracks at tying the game as Condon never stop running, gets that 3-base hit. That's Charlie's 3rd triple. Guerrero looks at a strike, 0-1. Bullpen is quiet for the Dogs. Bolden has not pitched deep into many games as a starter. There's a pop-up on the infield. Miller makes the catch in fair territory. Had to reach back to grab that pop.
Second baseman, number 40, Reggio.
Yeah. Miller sticks with it, and that's going to bring up Rock Reggio, who singled his first time up. Miller getting a start at first base today. He's played in 3 games in the series. Here's Rock with only his 2nd start in the series. He's first ball swinging and sends it in the air to left. Chacon makes the catch. Condon tags. He's coming home. Here comes the throw. Gets by the catcher. Condon scores, and we're tied 2-2. Watch it again. Not a bad gamble here, Jeff.
No, not at all. Well, you knew he was going. I mean, there's no way you're not sending him. I mean, a good throw's got him, but throw kind of short hops. Brooks Brennan, the catcher, and then scooted away for the backstop, and Condon in easily to tie the ball game.
So Reggio picks up his 37th run batted in between Somerset and here as Bobby Meacham sent him in, and Condon, obeying his manager, delivers. As Cordova drills it down the right field line, it's going to be in there for a base hit, maybe extra bases. Laces after it. Cordova with a head first dive. He's safe. A double for Jose. So the bats have come alive here in this inning as Cordova, jumping on the first pitch, hammers it into the right field corner, chased down by Blaze.
Yeah, the Goats in position to take their first lead of the contest.
And Brandon is going to head out to the mound and have a word with Bolden. Bolden had been emboldened until this fourth inning. Just a brief visit by Brannon. Meanwhile, for Cordova, that's his 14th double of the year. Now Benny Montgomery gets a chance. All tied 2-2 here in the last of the fourth. Benny grounded into a 4-6-3 double play his first time up. First ball swinging, fouls it away. Chad Epperson looking on, but concerned as the Goats have awakened offensively. That's a strike. Benny thinking that might have been a bit too low. TrackMan shows it just caught the lower portion of the zone. Benny's tall. I mean, former first-round pick. 6'5", 200 pounds. Bolden in his first mess really of the day.
Right.
Already 2 runs home. Nice stop by Brannon that time.
That was. He had to quickly slide to his right and prevent that thing from going all the way to the backstop.
Yes. New baseball for Bolden, a native of Texarkana, Texas. There's a drive to deep right field, and it is off the wall. Scoring easily is Cordova. Here's the throw to second, not in time. A double for Montgomery, and the Yard Goats take a 3-2 lead.
Now the hit parade continues. How's that? 3 extra base hits this inning of Caleb Bolden.
Well, the Yard Goats, remember, facing Bolden the second time through the order. Now they have faced him before on the season. Nevertheless, second time today has been very productive. Here's Julio Carreras as Cordova brings home the go-ahead run. That's the ball, backing Julio off the plate. Little stirring now in that Portland bullpen. Hartford bullpen quiet, although now there seems to be some movement. Remember, Connor Stain through 4 innings has thrown 76 pitches. So we'll keep an eye on both bullpens. And yes, there is bullpen action for the Yard Goats. Nothing yet for Portland. Just a little movement. But there's action in the Yard Goats bullpen. And there's a ground ball. Base hit into left field. Around third is Montgomery. Here comes the throw to the plate. Dropped by the catcher. Benny scores. And now the throw goes down to second base. Getting back is Carreras. An RBI single for Julio. And the Yard Goats take a 4-2 lead.
Now again, a good throw, and he's dead meat. Ball just not gathered by Brannon. He just never had it in the glove completely and didn't know where it was. It was actually behind him, and Montgomery safely in with the 4th run this inning.
And you're right about that, Jeff, because that ball was not hit that deep to left field. And now we're going to get a visit from the pitching coach, one of 2 pitching coaches on the staff of the Portland Sea Dogs. That's Juan Rivera out there. And he's in a conversation with Bolden, who had really been effective through 3 innings. But, Jeff, there's that leadoff walk, and it has blossomed into 4 runs.
Yeah, it's a great point, Dan. I mean, a great at-bat by Jared Thomas, his 2nd walk of the game, as you see the bullpen get busy. Bobby Meacham smiles in that third base coaching box. But the leadoff walk and then the triple by Condon. And Hartford, Dan, all over Bolden. This really second time through the lineup.
Saw Jack Anderson with a baseball in his hands in the Portland bullpen, and I am sure we will see a new pitcher for Hartford because there is activity. And Stain's pitch count, as we told you, is at 76. First things first, Jorge becomes the 8th Goat to bat this inning, 4 runs in. And there's a drive down the right field line. It's going to land foul off the netting.
A lot of this rally coming with 2 outs as well. The sac fly, which tied the game by Rock Riggio, was the second out of the inning. But since then, Cordova double, Montgomery RBI double, and Carreras RBI single.
And that's something the Goats did not do last night. They were 3 of 15 with runners in scoring position. But they are delivering with those runners in scoring position this afternoon. Pitch to Jorge. Outside. And the pitch count has started to climb for Bolden. Through 3 innings, he had thrown 37 pitches, but here's his 20th pitch of the 4th inning. And there's a bouncing ball. Liendo with the throw, and that will be that. But the Yard Goats with a 4th spot in the last of the 4th.
And you can save $20 off base fares when planning your next trip on Connecticut's hometown airline. Make some noise for Eric!
Well, the Hartford Yard Goats are in the thick of the playoff race, and if they make the postseason, the first game will be played right here on Tuesday night, September 16th. You can get your playoff tickets. They're on sale now. Just scan the QR code. Hartford Yard Goats in the thick of the playoff chase, and again Tuesday, September 16th. The Yard Goats would host the first playoff game if they qualify. Marvin Alcantara leads off the top of the 5th inning, and Connor Stain is out there, Jeff. You see that pitch count.
And he's got a chance to get the win if he can get 3 outs here in the 5th inning.
Strike 1. There is bullpen action for the Yard Goats, but I'm thinking that Bobby Meacham says, you know what? You've pitched well.
Well, he's battled. He really has. He's done a nice job.
You deserve the chance to get the win. And there's a high fly to left. Guerrero has it, 1 away. That's a tough sun out there.
It
right
is
now.
high sky, tough sun. Not too many clouds out there. A couple of friendly white ones, but you look up there and you can see Guerrero shielding that sun with the glove and never took his eye off it. And Alcantara is the first out of the 5th.
Alan Castro as Guerrero talking to some of the fans out there. Here's Castro. First ball swinging, and he sends it in the air to left. Guerrero ranging in, and Julio has it. Quickly 2 gone here in the top of the 5th, and this is just what the doctor has ordered for Connor Stain.
He and Cole Carey communicating well right there. One makes the grab.
Swan. He's got to be talking to maybe the bullpen. They might be getting on him in that Portland bullpen.
Maybe.
Here's Ronald Rosario.
I mean, these teams play so much, right?
All right. That's a strike.
Yeah, maybe somebody yelled drop it. He was out there, but
there's the Yard Goats bullpen. Bryce McGowan with the ball in his hand.
yeah, this is the final of 24 between the the Yard Goats of the Sea Dogs this season.
Pitch missing for a ball. Connor Stain trying to come up with his 3rd win of the year, one of his 2 wins coming against the Portland Sea Dogs back in April. That's a ball. Rosario, by the way, has been hit by a pitch today and walked. So he's been on base both times. 4-2 Yard Goats. Swing and a miss. Excellent breaking pitch from Stain. I'll tell you, if he could get through this inning, what a pick-me-up this would be, not only for the Yard Goats, but that man right there, that young man, Connor Stain, native of New Jersey. Grew up a Yankees fan, now trying to make it with the Rockies. Fouled off. Meanwhile, Rosario trying to keep things going. He's 2 for 12 in the series, but one of those hits, a home run, coming in the 1st inning last night. And there's a high drive to deep center field. Carrick hauls it in, and that's all here in the top of the 5th. Halfway through this one here at Duncan Park on a sunny Sunday. It's Hartford 4, Portland 2. This is Yard Goats baseball. By Mike's Amazing Mayonnaise and Mustard. When it's on, it's on. Find Mike's Amazing here at Duncan Park and on sale today at your local market. To learn more, visit Mike'sAmazingFoods.com. Last of the 5th, top of the order, Cole Carrick, the only Yard Goat who did not bat in that 4-run 4th. First ball swinging, lifts it in the air to center field. Under it is Castro, and he makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 away.
All the offense for Hartford coming in last inning, a 4-run frame against Bolden.
Bolden still out there. His pitch count at 58. Castro handling that fly ball. Now Jared Thomas, he's walked twice, and that walk in the 4th inning started the 4-run frame for Hartford. 4 in the 4th. Strike called, 0-1 on Thomas, who also stole the base in that 4th inning. So he was the spark plug. Swings through a slider, 0-2. Caleb Bolden giving his manager some length. Sea Dogs go home after today. They'll have a 6-game series against Erie.
Chance to get some clam chowder and some lobster martin and back to work on Tuesday.
There's a ball. I could think of several places to go in Portland. How about you?
Yeah, that's such a great spot.
It is.
It really is. You think anyone will know if I jump on that bus and go with them?
Whoa, how's that not a strike? Ball is called. It is high, according to TrackMan.
Not like everywhere, right? You deal with the elements up there, though, in April and
That's true.
sometimes early May, and then you get to the summer months, and it's a great spot.
Ball 3, 3-2. Bobby Meacham in his second year as Yard Goats manager, former big league player, big league coach. Managed also at AAA in the minor leagues. Managed Vlad Guerrero Jr. at AAA Buffalo. Payoff pitch. Fouled away.
And Danny's got some pretty fun Yankee stories, doesn't he?
My goodness, one after another. Played for Billy Martin, Lou Piniella, Yogi.
That's right, played for Yogi too, didn't he?
Payoff pitch again. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So that's the 5th strikeout for Bolden, and quickly 2 are gone here in the last of the 5th inning.
I always say with Bobby Meacham running the helm, and I thought Ryan Ritter last year, who's now in the big leagues with the Rockies, especially being an infielder, you can learn so much from him, and you hope that the Yard Goat players can kind of soak up the information that Bobby wants to pass along, because he's not only done it, but former shortstop for the New York Yankees.
Right. Charlie Condon, first ball swinging, gets a base hit to center field. So Condon's bat has come alive. He's now 2 for 3. Had an RBI triple his last time up, and he follows up with a ringing single to center field.
And getting back to Meacham, not only the playing days, but the coaching days. You mentioned his time with Buffalo with Toronto. He was in the major league staff just a couple of years ago with the Philadelphia Phillies. So he was Bryce Harper's coach of the big leagues.
Right. Yep. Juan Guerrero has reached on an infield hit and popped out to first. Keep an eye on Condon. There's a ball. Manager Chad Epperson trying to squeeze 5 innings out of Caleb Bolden. Bullpen is quiet. For 2-Yard Goats as Condon measures his lead. And there is a pop-up on the infield. And that is Miller who makes the catch. Well, the final regular season homestand of the season is on Tuesday, and there's a lot of upcoming giveaways. Tuesday night, September 2nd, a 90s fanny pack hat. That looks pretty neat. Then you've got the Thursday Yard Goats delivery driver shirt. That's great, too. And then Friday, the red, white, and blue replica jersey. They are all outstanding. For tickets, you can scan the QR code. The upcoming giveaways this week at Duncan Park. Miguel Blaise leads it off against Bryce McGowan, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. So Connor Stain does his job. 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs earned, walked 2, struck out 3, and he threw 85 pitches. And now it's up to the bullpen. There's a foul. And Bryce McGowan, Jeff, gets summoned first.
Yeah, nice job by Stain. You said it, Dan. 85 pitches in his outing this afternoon.
That's terrific, particularly when you look at the fact he threw 28 pitches in the first inning and bounced back.
Yeah, he ended up having to pitch around an error and then a walk and a couple of hit batsmen. Gave up a run and a sac fly, but that was it. And the only other mistake, Dan, the home run to Brooks Brannan. Besides that, I mean, he really did a good job.
There are Bryce's numbers. 2-2 record, 2 saves. Fouled back. Bryce, a native of Cary, North Carolina, pitching to Miguel Blaise here in the top of the 6th with the Goats on top 4-2. That pitch misses. 2-2. I think even Blaise thought it was going to be a strike. He seemed to take a step toward the dugout.
Not a bad looking pitch.
No. It was in the strike zone according to TrackMan. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So McGowan fans the first batter he faces.
And he's got a good arm. I mean, he'll pump that fastball. He got the strikeout with a slider, but he'll pump that thing up 96, 97 often.
There's Brooks Brannan. Told you when McGowan appeared earlier in the series, I thought he reminded me of Dugan Darnell as Brooks Brannan settles in. Homered his last time up, swings to that pitch, and I see where Dugan is going to undergo hip surgery, Jeff.
Yeah, he's going to be done for the year, unfortunately. So great to see him go up there, not only pitch for the Rockies in the major leagues, but go up there and really contribute. He pitched well at Colorado.
Brannan, by the way, requests time.
For McGowan, Dan, his 8th appearance against the Red Sox affiliate. He's 1-0 in 7 games and a 0.93 earned run average against the Red Sox affiliate.
Oh, that hit him. Brannan, you could see, not too happy as he heads down to first. That's the 3rd Sea Dog to be hit today.
Yeah, Stain got a couple in that first inning with a fastball that missed his spot, then a breaking pitch that got out of the way.
Condon holding Brannan now. Now Tyler Miller. He swings at the first pitch. Miller has struck out swinging and flied to left. Miller playing first base today. There's a ground ball down the right field line. That's going to rattle around as it kicks off the wall. Brannan will stop at third. The throw to second is not in time. A double for Miller. And here come the Sea Dogs. Runners at second and third with 1 out.
He just wedges it between the lunging Charlie Condon in the first base bag, and then kind of hit the sidewall, and then caroms out towards Rock Riggio. The second baseman grabs it on the outfield of grass, but Brennan never stops running and goes from first to third base.
And just like that, McGowan is in a mess as the dangerous Carson Seamus settles in. He singled his last time up. That's Brannan at third, and Miller, the tying run, at second. Ball 1. So it's seat squirming time for the Yard Goats and their faithful. That's a strike. Jeff mentioned how McGowan is facing the Sea Dogs for the 8th time. He has a record of 1 win, no losses, and a 0.93 earned run average against Portland. But all of that at the moment is in the rearview mirror as he is in a mess. There's a strike.
Yeah, and he could use the strikeout here, Dan. He's in the driver's seat against the second baseman.
Juan Chacon is on deck, and don't let that 9-hole hitter fool you. He has had a good series. First things first. Misses, almost hit him.
Both with his glove and his bat.
Yes.
He just returned from AAA Worcester. He was at the Woo Sox just last week.
Big pitch coming up here. Swing and a miss, strike three. Jeff, he got the strikeout you were talking about.
Yeah, I get him with a slider, and Seamus tried to stay in the zone, but he could not. He chases it, and that thing was breaking down towards the dirt. That's a huge strikeout from McGowan. It's the second out of the inning.
Juan Chacon has flied to center and lined out to third on a great catch by Julio Carreras. He smoked that baseball, and Julio caught it. Strike one as he tips that pitch. Yard Goats clinging to a 4-2 lead, but the Dogs threatening with runners at second and third. Strike two. What does he throw here, Jeff Dooley?
I think he goes at him with a heater. I wouldn't make it too good, though. I'd try to get a high fastball, something that Chacon could chase potentially. I thought the slider, the strikeout, Seamus looked pretty good.
He did. 0-2 pitch upcoming. Fouled.
It was a slider.
Yep. You could almost tell the way he was feeling for that baseball in his glove that he was trying to get the right grip. Chacon on that 2-strike hole. Big pitch coming here. There's a bouncing ball fielded by Riggio, and the high wire act of the top of the sixth comes to an end as the Dogs leave two runners in scoring position. Well, let's take a look at the Yard Goats team leaders presented by Namco Pools. Juan Guerrero leads in batting average, but then you see Cole Carrick, the leader in homers, runs batted in OPS, hits, stolen bases. Your Yard Goats 2025 team leaders presented by Namco Pools. Rock Riggio leads off the last of the sixth inning, 4-2 Hartford, and Bolden still out there. Pitch misses, ball one. Bolden has thrown 68 pitches through 5 innings. So if he can get an out here, this will be his longest outing of the season. 2-0 the count.
Well, he did recover after giving up 4 runs in the 4th inning and did not allow a run in the 5th.
Ball 3. Well, you wonder, the most pitches he has thrown in a game, 88, and that was against Somerset on August the 13th. He pitched 5 innings in that game. There's a high fly to right field, and angling over is Blaze for the first out. And so now this will be Bolden's longest outing of the campaign. There's Blaze. One of the Red Sox prospects. They're all prospects, really.
They really are. You know, you look at the list, and some you agree with, others you don't. Some guys that are high prospects in one organization doesn't necessarily mean they'll be one in another.
Cordova, first ball swinging again, and he grounds out to Seamus. Quickly 2 gone here in the home half of the 6th inning.
Always fun to check out MLB Pipeline, though, and see where your favorite team ranks. And you have to check often because they shuffle them a couple of times during the year, and then they reshuffle them and reorganize them when they add the new draftees in.
Then you've got the trades that take place at the deadline.
Yeah. Hartford's list has changed several times. The Rockies list, they were very active at the trading deadline.
There's a look at one of the Red Sox prospects, Alcantara. That's a ball. 1-1 the count on Montgomery.
Yeah, Marvin homer last night and hit a couple of nice defensive plays.
Red Sox prospects all around the infield.
There's a look at Liendo. Yeah, playing third base. He's made stellar plays all week.
2-1. An appeal to the first base umpire, Nate Hall, said he did hold up. Caleb Bolden doing his job today when you think about it. Ball 3. I mean, to turn in his longest outing of the season and keep the Sea Dogs in the ball game. I mean, that's all you can ask.
Sure, to give 6 innings. Seeing less and less pitchers go 6 at every level now, it seems.
I mean, at the big league level, if a starter goes 6 innings these days, they're doing cartwheels.
It's big news.
The game has changed. Fouled away, 3-2 now, the count on Montgomery.
And they always used to say minor league guys would want to go deep just to build innings, learning how to pitch, learning how to get hitters out, and we'd always hope that they would go 6, maybe into the 7th at times, and that's such a rarity now.
There's a ground to short. Alcantara with a sidearm throw and a 1-2-3 inning for Bolden. 6 in the books. Hartford 4, Portland 2. This is Yard Goats baseball on Nesson. It is a sun-splashed holiday weekend afternoon here at Duncan Park as we go to the top of the 7th. Yard Goats on top 4-2, ready to carry us home on this Sunday. Here's the voice of the Yard Goats, Jeff Dooley.
Thank you, Dan. So Bryce McGowan back to pitch as we move along to the top of the 7th inning. Abram Liendo is in for Portland, and he takes strike 1. This is the Red Sox and the Rockies affiliates battling here. You look at Abram, a .229 batting average coming into this at bat here in the 7th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dawes got the first run home and a sac fly by Marvin Alcantara. 2 batters in. It was 1-0 Sea Dogs. Two balls and a strike. Goats down 1-0. And then 2-0 as Portland's Brooks Brannon homer to the 4th inning. But the Goats respond to the bottom half of the 4th. That's chopped foul. Good hack that time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Leadoff walk to Jared Thomas against Caleb Bolden. Charlie Condon follows with a rocket triple to center off the fence, scoring Thomas. And the Goats get a sac fly from Rock Reggio to tie the ball game 2-2. And then a 2-out rally. Double by Cordova, RBI double by Montgomery. 3-2 Goats, RBI single by Carreras. 4-2 Goats. That's where we stand now in the 7th. In there for a call, 3rd strike. McGowan comes back with a slider, gets the strikeout as Liendo is left standing. That's his 3rd strikeout. It's the first out of the 7th. Bryce McGowan, Rockies' 18th round pick, 2021 out of UNC Charlotte. Robert Alcantara is, you see, hold up in the swing for ball 1. That one at 96 from Bryce McGowan. McGowan has not allowed a single run each of his last 2 relief outings, trying to make it 3 in a row. This is his 5th season in the minors. He's been here all year and actually joined the Goats late last year. It's low. It's now 3-0. But if you're a guy like McGowan, I mean, you look at some of the relievers, Dan, that have gone up to the big leagues. Guys like Dugan Darnell that you mentioned, Angel Chivihi, or Seth Halverson. He was part of that bullpen core last year. And you start to realize, I'm sure, when you're at Hartford, that Denver is not that too far off.
Absolutely, Jeff. And another thing, when you hear the baseball commissioner mention the word expansion, well, then your ears perk up
Sure.
too.
More teams, more players, more jobs. Fly ball hit deep down the right field line. Montgomery angling back towards the corner. It's a foul ball at top of the Hartford upper deck roof. Alcantara pretty good swing on that one, though. Swings and misses at a slider here. Now it's 3-2.
Yard Goats pitchers, both Connor Stain and Bryce McGowan, have done a good job this afternoon of getting the Portland hitters to chase pitches.
A rocket hit towards the gap in right center field. This could be trouble. Montgomery on the run, and he makes the catch. Alcantara sending him out to the gap in right center field, but Benny gets a good break, and when sprinting out by his own bullpen, he hauls it in full tilt for the 2nd out of the 7th inning.
That's a great read by Benny Montgomery. The way he chased it down at Sunday afternoon. In football mode, he was like a wideout going out for that pass.
Two-way bases clear. Now the right fielder, Alan Castro. He's looking for his first hit today. His 4th plate appearance. Castro is one of the Sea Dogs prospects. Number 22 on the list as he taps a foul towards his own dugout at first base.
There's Justin Fermetta, the first base coach the last 3 games. He's a member of the Red Sox player development department in town for this series, and so they put a uniform on him.
Put you to work, right?
Yeah.
Routine ground ball to Rock Reggio, who throws out Castro as part of a 1-2-3 inning. Stretch time in Hartford. Well, let's get to today's game summary. Sea Dogs with an early 1-0 lead, but Portland's Brooks Brannon with a solo home run makes it a 2-0 game. Then we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. RBI triple by Charlie Condon. You'll see him slide in head first. Goats make it a 2-1 game. And they tie it in a sac fly and then take the lead. And this is Benny Montgomery. RBI double. Julio Carreras would cap the rally with a run-scoring single. Goats 4 runs in the fourth inning. But one of the stories today was the pitching of Connor Stain. He was solid 5 innings. Allows just 2 runs on 3 hits, had a couple of walks and 3 strikeouts today. And he's all fired up as he gets the strikeout. And this will be up to the bullpen now as the Goats try to hold the advantage 4-2 here in the last half of the 7th inning. Jack Anderson replacing Caleb Bolden as the Sea Dogs end up going to the pen here in the 7th inning. And we'll see if they can add to what is a 2-run advantage. Bolden, he got touched up for the 4 runs in the 4th inning, but to give 6 innings on this toasty afternoon, pretty impressive. It'll be Julio Carreras, Dion Jorge, and Cole Carrick in the 7th inning. First one from Anderson. It's a fastball that is in for strike 1. Jack 6'3", 197 from Tampa, Florida. Swing and a miss and a soft change. No balls, 2 strikes. Anderson blew the save on the 27th. Pitched 3 innings, allowed 4 runs earned on 5 hits with a walk and 4 strikeouts. Anderson originally a draft pick of the Tigers. 16th round pick back in 2021 at Florida State University, and then selected by the Yankees actually at a high school, did not sign. And now trying to make it as the Boston Red Sox. Fly ball hit well towards left. Chacon back to the track at the wall. It's gone! Julio Carreras for the 2nd game in a row homers. A solo blast here in the 7th inning, and it's 5-2 Yard Goats.
100 miles per hour off his bat. The suddenly powerful Julio Carreras. I mean, where does that come from?
Puts one into the Liberty Bank Pavilion out in center.
There are the numbers on that homer. 2 homers in 2 games.
Right, go figure. He's going to back cleanup Tuesday. Dion Jorge, look at he flexing. That boy, Julio. He's a happy guy.
Superman.
Does he get to put the cowboy hat on now?
No, I thought, what happened to it?
Yeah, he wore it last night.
Yeah.
Jorge takes a breaking pitch. Benjamin for a strike. It's 0-2. So big insurance run picked up by Hartford in the 7th on the Julio Carreras home run. It's tapped foul, and Jorge stays alive. No balls, 2 strikes. The Goats will be scoreboard watching later. Somerset playing at Binghamton. That's a later afternoon start at 5. And if the Goats can win this game, and if Binghamton wins, meaning, of course, that Somerset loses, Hartford will be a half a game out of that final playoff spot with 12 remaining. That's out of the reach of the first baseman Miller. Back into the seats. There's a fan that made the catch.
Nice catch.
With a food in one hand, he's got the baseball in the next.
Well, I'm glad to see he's got his priorities.
Right. He wasn't going to drop the food. That was pretty good. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Jorge ends up striking out. First strikeout for Anderson. It's the first out of the inning.
Center fielder number 4, Cole Carrick.
Now, Sea Dogs have won the series, but it's more than that. Every game matters when you're this close, and we told you coming in, A game and a half separating 3 teams. Carrick drives one deep towards right. Down towards the corner, and a fair ball. Heading on his way to second base is Carrick, and he's in standing with a double. Miguel Blaze tried to get to it. He could not. He hits the ball extremely hard, and he's got a 2-base hit.
Anderson hung a curveball, and I mean, he hung it. And Carrick was not about to let that go by as the ball, as you said, landed right in the corner. And Cole had to stop at second. No way he could go for one of his patented triples on that one.
So man in scoring position against Jack Anderson. Jared Thomas is in now. And tracks the pitch low for ball 1. Thomas walked in the first, walked and scored in the fourth, and struck out swinging in the fifth. First 3 at bats against Caleb Bolden, the starter for the Dogs. Taps a foul first base side. Luis Lopez at first base. He's going to make someone happy. And Luis says, give it to the youngster, and she is all smiles. Fly ball left field for Juan Chacon. He makes the catch. Now Charlie Condon, who's hit the ball extremely hard. 5-2 Goats here in the 7th inning. Runner breaks for third. The pitch and the throw down to third base is in time. Carrick is gone to wrap up the 7th inning. So the Goats. Now Carrick's going to get ejected.
Just got thrown out.
Yeah. 5-2 Goats heading to the 8th. Reliever. See if they can stay in front here.
Yep. As the Yard Goats bring in right-hander Victor Juarez. Changes because of the ejection of Cole Carrick. They're going to have to come up with a new outfield. I see Braylon Wimmer is out in left. Yard Goats have 4 outfielders out there right now. Now, wait,
it's not going to work.
That is not going to work at all. I think there's some confusion as to who's going to take the place.
Now it looks like
Carrick.
Guerrero's going to right, I believe.
Yep.
Montgomery moved to center.
There's still confusion out there. You see Bobby talking to the plate umpire.
And Wimmer's coming in now.
Yeah, I don't think Wimmer's going in. I don't think I've ever seen this. Can you get flagged for too many men on the field?
Well, Bobby's explaining to home plate umpire Ian Durkin.
Well, so we got a new pitcher. Wimmer's out there in left.
It's going to be Jared Thomas to play center, and looks like Benny Montgomery's going to come in.
Yes. So Benny's going to come out of the ball game. Yep. And there are the numbers on Juarez, 6-3 record. Bryce McGowan, by the way, does his job. 2 scoreless innings in relief. And there is Thomas moving to center field. So
the Goats lose their DH tonight.
DH, yep.
So a lot of substitutions in.
A lot of moving parts.
Yeah, and a new pitcher as well. Victor Juarez working in the 8th inning to Ronald Rosario. And there's strike 1. That's up high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think the issue now is where do you put Wimmer and Juarez in the batting order?
That's in for a strike, and the count goes to 1-2. No, Guerrero and Thomas will stay in their spots, and then Montgomery's spot would be the pitcher, I believe. The pitch is lined as short, grabbed by Dion Jorge. And Rosario is the first out of the 8th inning.
Yeah, so Juarez would bat in Montgomery's spot, right?
Correct. Yep. That's probably why, Dan, why Bobby Meacham did that, to take Montgomery out of the game, so that pitcher's spot would be this, you know, not bat come up this inning.
Right.
There's a strike, and the count. It's a 0-1 to Miguel Blaze, who's 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout.
He's always thinking, Bobby.
Right. Oh, you have to put that up versus the defense, right?
Exactly.
Especially you've got now the 3-run lead.
Here's my question though: where does Wimmer bat in the order? That's what I mean about losing your DH. Wimmer's going to bat in Carrick's spot. All right, so there you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Foul, back it out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Now that I find interesting, because you would think Wimmer would bat in Montgomery's spot, because that is going to come up in the order before the leadoff spot in the order.
Well, we don't know though,
well,
right?
we don't. You're right. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what they have on game day, that Wimmer is batting leadoff.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, because that we're gonna have to wait to see exactly when they come up to know that. 2 balls and I should say 3 balls and 2 strikes to Miguel Blaze. How's your scorecard doing?
It's a messy scorecard right now, and it's only a 5-2 game.
Right. It's a pop-up third base side. Carreras gives it a look, but it's back into the seats. Line towards left. Wimmer on the go and goes to his right, reaches up, but he makes the catch. Good running grab by the new left fielder Braylon Wimmer for out number 2.
I know they say it all the time, but I'll say it too. That ball always finds you. It is amazing the number of times you put a new player into the game that in that next inning, the ball is hit to that player. And in this case, it was Wimmer who was put to the test.
So two-way now for the DH, Brooks Brannon. He swings and misses the first one from Juarez. Strike one. Could not hold up again, and it's now 0-2. That's low. Slider missing, and 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good spot, though, for a 0-2 pitch to Brooks Brannon, a guy that has all sorts of power. Fly ball center field coming in. Thomas to make the catch to end the inning. Go to the bottom of the 8th here. Valley Sports Live is your home for minor league baseball all season long. Watch every game at no cost in the MILB zone. Test your skills and earn rewards at the Game Center. Buy tickets to watch your favorite teams. Valley Sports Live is the perfect companion for the minor league baseball fan. Step up to the plate and download the Valley Sports Live app today. New pitcher, Dan, as we go to the 8th inning.
Well, Zach Bryant comes on. He's the 3rd pitcher used today by manager Chad Epperson.
So Bryant the other night, and the Goats win. Here's Charlie Condon. He takes the first one in for strike one. Condon was up when Carrig was erased trying to steal 3rd base last inning. There's a chopper foul. The count, no balls, 2 strikes.
Bryant is making his 31st appearance of the year. 1 win, 3 losses, 3 saves, and a 5.56 earned run average.
Bryant's 3rd pitcher used by the Dogs in this Sunday afternoon. Swing and a miss. 97 that time from Bryant. He strikes out Condon with a high heater for the first out of the 8th inning.
Anderson pitched an inning, allowed 2 hits, 1 run. That home run to Carreras. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 1, and now Bryant.
Juan Guerrero is the batter. 1 for 3, singles infield style in the 2nd. And takes the pitch low for ball 1. Goats 3 outs away from a victory. They've lost the series, but trying to stay in the hunt, and a win would get them a game in front of the Portland Sea Dogs with 12 to play. Ground ball up the middle. Shortstop Alcantara can't make the play. It should be a hit, though, for Guerrero. Not sure he had to play anyway, and the Goats get a 1-out single.
He was hoping to, in one motion, pick up that ball and do a 360, but it was not to be.
Now Rock Riggio's turn. Riggio 1 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. There's a hit for Guerrero. Good to see Riggio back in Hartford's lineup. He swings and hits a foul back to the screen behind the plate. Strike one. Runner breaks for a second. The pitch, a throw down to second base is not nearly in time to get Guerrero. And he is in a scoring position, and that pretty much takes the Goats out of the double play here.
And that's more like the Hartford Yard Goats returning to their running game, the third stolen base of the afternoon for Hartford.
Time called as Brooks Brennan once again on the same page as Zach Bryant's. Bryant making his 6th appearance this season against Hartford. Look at Bobby Beecham. Bryant got the blown save and loss a couple of days ago here at Duncan Park. That's a little bit low. Got to give Portland credit because they lost that impossible game on Wednesday. The Goats were down in their final out, down 4 runs with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Hartford rallied, tied the game, ended up winning, but Portland responded and won the next 3 games.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, they could have really gone south, but they did not. And that's a credit to the manager and to the Portland staff.
They are right back in the thick of things in the divisional race. Going in 2 now to Rock Riggio.
I mean, those should be some fun games later this week at
Sure.
Hadlock Field.
That's high ball 4. So the second time this afternoon, Rock Riggio is on base. And the Goats are looking to add on to a 5-2 lead here in the 8th inning.
Interesting to see if Jose Cordova goes after the first pitch here. Jose will do that on occasion, as you see Riggio at first and Bryant digging a hole.
Jose Cordova, 1 out of 3, a double and a run. Takes low for ball 1. Bottom of 8, 5-2 Yard Goats. Runner breaks for second and third. The throw is high, and Hartford pulls off a double steal. Yeah, Hartford's and Ryle running wild today.
Well, that's more like the Yard Goats. They hadn't been running for a while. Of course, you've got to get men on base, right?
Sure.
But
4 stolen bases
that
this afternoon.
Yes.
And now Chad Epperson brings the entire infield in. Ground ball, chop first base, runner breaks for the plate. Wow, Guerrero somehow got around the tag of Brooks Brennan to make it 6-2. How did this happen?
Well, I don't think the throw was right on the money. Let's watch this again. And there is the throw. Yeah, see, it was That's how he did it, because it was on the first base side. A throw closer to the plate, and they might have had Guerrero, but Brandon really had to stretch.
So the Goats get a big insurance run and the RBI fielder's choice by Cordova. On the play, Riggio takes third. And now Benny Montgomery with a shot. He swings and he lines one, caught by the second baseman Seamus. And he hit it right on the nose, but he is out. Oh, excuse me, that was Wimmer. Braylon Wimmer batting in the spot of Montgomery.
Yeah, I kind of had a hunch they would put Wimmer in that spot because it came before Kerrigan, the batting order.
Right. So that's why Montgomery came out, so that makes sense then.
Yep.
As Julio Carreras stands in. Carreras 2 out of 3 with a solo home run. And it's wide, 2 balls, no strikes. Drive towards center field. Castro on the go, but he can't get it. It is in for a hit. Rock Riggio scores on his way to third base as Cordova. The throw is late. It's an RBI hit by Julio Carreras, and it's now 7-2 Yard Goats here in the 8th inning.
Wow. Have a day, Julio Carreras. A home run, 2 singles, 3 runs batted in. Julio is on a tear.
The shortstop, Dion Jorge. Runners at the corners. A couple of stolen bases setting this up. Carreras on his way to second base. The throw will be cut by Seamus. And the Goats get another man in scoring position. Another stolen base. That's the 4th this inning.
That's some inning for Hartford.
This is the game the Goats were waiting for all week, right?
Exactly right.
Chopper pulled foul.
It's a lot of stolen bases in 1 inning, though. 4 stolen bases.
Yep. Seven-two Goats here in the 8th inning. There's a ground ball, chop foul, third base side. And the count stays at 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I'll tell you, Jeff, you look back at the 4th inning today, the Yard Goats sent 8 to the plate and they scored 4 runs. And Jorge is the 7th to bat this inning to tack on some insurance runs, and the inning's not over yet.
You know, hit here and you might have 2 more scored. Cordova at third base and Carreras at second base.
And look who's on deck, Victor Juarez.
Right.
He's saying to Jorge, you better get on base.
He wants a crack. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Won't happen. 97 to end the inning. Goats add 2. We head to the top of the 9th inning. Last call for Portland. It is 7-2 Hartford. That's September 9th through the 14th. The road ahead for the Hartford Yard Goats. Well, off to the 9th inning we go. Last call for Portland, Dan, and Victor Juarez will stay in the game. He was about to bat last inning.
I know it. I think the Yard Goats have had a couple of pitchers bat this season, just looking at the stat sheet. So this is not a totally unusual move that Bobby Meacham pulled by losing the DH.
Tyler Miller will see Juarez for the first time. He swings and misses. A fastball at 91 for strike one.
That's a Billy Martin move. He learned that from Billy.
All right.
I'll guarantee it.
Okay. Well, we knew something was going on. He had a long conversation with Ian Durkin, the home plate umpire. He's out of the way. Inside fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Difference in this game, a 4-run 4th inning for the Goats. They've added since and now lead at 7-2. It'll pop up. Shortstop Dion Jorge will take charge and make the catch. Victor Juarez has retired all 4 that he has faced. He hurled a 1-2-3 8th inning.
All the outs have been in the air, but Juarez doing his job.
Hitter now is Carson Seamus. He looks at strike one. Two balls and a strike.
All the kids are getting in position. They get to run the bases after the game today, and they are all lined up.
They
ready.
are.
Jeff, come back.
You know me, I try to cut the line, I get thrown out. Yeah, it's been the staple, right, since this ballpark opened in 2017. Kids get to come down and run the bases. What a great crowd.
There you see the attendance.
6,611 watching here today. 6-6-1-1. There's a strike, and the count fills now 3-2 to Carson Seamus. Whereas a first-year Goat, he was in the starting rotation at Spokane all of last year, but he's working exclusively out of the pen this year, and he's been really good.
Yeah, he has adjusted very well.
You know, some guys have that tough adjustment. He's handled it nicely. He gets the strikeout here. Good-looking slider as he fans Seamus for the 2nd out of the 9th.
And again, that's what the Hartford pitchers have done all day, getting those hitters to chase.
Now the Sea Dogs down to their final out here in the 9th inning. Juan Chacon 0 for 3, a fly out, line out, ground out. Pitch missing high at 97 for ball 1. That's fouled off. A healthy hack by Chacon, but he doesn't get it. That's 1 ball, 1 strike. Line drive into right field. That's going to find a spot in front of Juan Guerrero. It actually gets by, rolls to the corner. Chacon on his way to second base, and he slides in with a 2-out double. That's the first hit against Victor Juarez.
And that's the kind of series Chacon has had. I mean, he's been on base so many times in this series with hits, walks. He's hit once by a pitch. He's going to come away feeling mighty good about this series. As well he should.
Yep.
The Dogs will need him against Erie this coming week at Hadlock Field.
Abram Liendo is the hitter. It's 1 out of 4 tonight. He singled and scored back in the first inning. Goes after the first one, rolls one at third base. Carreras fields and throws, but it's off the mark, and it goes into the dugout.
Well, they're going to award Chacon home plate.
Yep, that means a run, and also Leendo be given second base.
Of course, as he should be, Carreras was playing deep at third base with 2 outs and 1 out away from a victory. So he had to charge that baseball, thought he would take a chance. And a wild throw enables a run to score for the Sea Dogs.
So it makes it a 7-3 game, and now Alcantara's in and takes it a curveball that bends in for strike 1. It will be a single for Leendo, and then a throwing error to allow the run to score by Carreras. Ground ball to short. This should end the game. Jorge Fields fires, and the Goats win it. 7-3 the final score, Dan Lovallo, on this Sunday afternoon.
Well, a happy bunch of Yard Goats, as you see the Goats in much need of a victory. Celebrate today, Jeff. They needed this win in the worst way, and they deliver big time, and there's the final out of the game.
And Jeff Dooley, Dan Lovallo at Duncan Park, and all smiles today as the Goats. So they might lose this series, but they get the win, and that puts pressure on Somerset. First of all, the Goats move a full game in front of Portland with just 12 games to go in the regular season. And if Somerset loses, they'll just be a half a game out of that final playoff spot.
Yeah, we'll see what happens tonight, Jeff.
7-3 the final. The Goats beat the Portland Sea Dogs here from Hartford. For Dan Lovallo, Jeff Dooley, once again. Hartford 7 and the Sea Dogs 3. Thanks for tuning in to Yard Goats Baseball. So long, everybody.